Hey there, my name is Jacob Brinson, and this is the final version of the Week 3 landscape project. First thing we're going to talk about is the landscape blueprint material and what its functionality is. So the landscape blueprint material, think of it as a texture that you're going to place over top of your landscape, and it's going to create noise, and that's going to create like variation on the surface of the landscape to create that landscape look and texture, feel, whatever you want to call it. Some of the stuff that I changed was the tiling, the elevation scale, and the elevation pre-offset. Changed the octaves. That really didn't change anything. I was thinking it would, but it didn't. But you can also change the material itself. Instead of having a Voronoi, you can change the cup if you wanted to. You can change the cup if you want to. The next thing that we worked on was the landscape the landmass brush. So the landmass brush, think of that as like your own personal island, okay, that you can like drag into the scene. And it's a procedurally generated island or islands, mountain, whatever you want to call it. And it's basically just a spline that you can add points to. You can manipulate the shape of it and create really cool stuff with it, actually. But some of the stuff that I changed or some of the things that I changed in the details panel were the fall off angle, the fall off mode, fall off width. And I also changed the curl strength 1, 2, and the curl tiling 1 and 2. Next thing we're going to talk about is the layered landscape master material. The landscape node that lets you change the tiling of the textures. It's just a scalar parameter that you can have, and you just link it to the UVs of the texture. Just multiply it by the landscape coordinates, and then you set a scalar, and then in the material instance you can just adjust the scalar, and that will adjust the tiling of the materials that are painted. The landscape node that's needed to blend or layer the materials is the landscape chords node. You can see the various colors there. You can blend materials into that. The steps we had to take to paint the landscape, well, obviously we had to create the material node, the material master material first, right? And then we had to create layers for the layer blend. Actually, you know what? The layer blend might have been what we used to blend the layers or the materials. I think that's what we used, actually. But anyway, we had to create this, plug all the layers into this, and then change the master material. We had to select use material attributes in order to be able to use this functionality. And then we went to the landscape mode, created a paint layer, and within the paint layer, you're going to have these materials show up. You select this plus here, and then you can create a material node, which would pop up in the landscape nodes, as you can see here. Okay, and then finally, we're going to talk about placing the foliage within the scene itself. The tool that I used was the foliage paint tool. I just downloaded some foliage, rocks, shells, and a starfish, some trees from Quixel Bridge, and I just painted them across the map, and I just used the foliage foliage paint tool to do that. So with that being said, my name is Jacob Brinson, and thank you for watching.